Hi Fixer family, it's Charmin, and today's video is a video that you guys asked for, and I'm going to show you how I created these beautiful paper roses out of cardstock paper. Welcome to Fixin' 2. Here's what we're going to need for this project. Of course, we're going to be using some cardstock that I got from Hobby Lobby. Now we're going to be making 4 flowers per color, and it's 2 sheets of the cardstock per flower. Now I wanted to show you this removable vinyl that I also got from Hobby Lobby. I'm not going into great detail on what I did with this, but I just wanted to show it to you and let you know that you can use this to create names and put it on the wall. It's really cool and really inexpensive if you have a Cricut or Silhouette. Now you'll need your hot glue gun and also this tool here. They call them bone folders, but this is a tool that came with my Cricut that I had a long time ago, but I have a Silhouette now. And I just wanted to show you that I am cutting this template out of the cardstock using my Silhouette, but you can definitely use scissors to cut this out with no issues whatsoever. Now you're going to need large petals, medium-sized petals, and of course your small petals for this project. Now for each flower, you'll need 3 of the large, 1 medium, and 2 small per flower. And you can cut those out, like I said, on 2 sheets of cardstock. Now this little tool here is pretty cool. They call them bone folders, I guess is what they're called. And I'm not sure what they call this with the Cricut, but I've had it for a long time. And you can use a popsicle stick, you can use your scissors, or one of these if you have it. Now what we're going to do is we're curling the paper, as you see here. And my paper is textured on one side and smooth on the other, and I want the textured side up. So basically I'm flipping it over and I'm curling one side of the petal using my thumb and the tool here. Then I'm going to turn it over and then we're going to curl it upwards. And I'm going to be taking my index finger, putting it under the paper and the tool on top of the paper, and then curling in an upward motion. And what that'll do is curl the other side of the petal basically the same way that the other petal is curled up. And it's just 2 different ways of doing this. And again, you can use scissors or a popsicle stick or one of these if you have it. So I'm just showing you here again on the medium flower, but you're wanting to do all of your flower petals, getting them prepared to put it all together. So now that we have all of those done, we are ready, but I wanted to share something with you guys. Now guys, this is not sponsored, but I got a new hot glue gun. I'm so excited. It is the SureBonder cordless. It was only $20 on Amazon. Guys, I will link that down below if you are interested in it. I am so excited. It came today, the day that I was doing this, and so I wanted to use it, and I am so excited about it. It is a high temperature hot glue gun, and I'm so excited to use it. So let's get started putting this together. Now what you're going to do, of course, first I wanted to show you, you see the tape on these 2? If you pull when you're curling a little too hard, you will tear it, so be very careful. So we're going to take one of our large flower petals and we're going to glue them using my new hot glue gun. We're going to take a little dab of hot glue and put it right on the edge, and then you're just going to barely overlap your petal and with the glue there. And of course you'll see that it kind of comes apart because I'm used to a low temperature. This is high temperature and it takes it a little bit longer to dry, but it holds really well. So you want to hold that in place, and what we're going to do is go all the way around, overlapping slightly just on the edge on each one of our petals. And what this does is this creates a little bowl. Now guys, the cool thing about this hot glue gun, I know I keep jumping back to it, but it's not a battery in there. It is like a heating element, and it will stay hot for up to 2 minutes off of the base there. So it's really cool. So now we're going to take the other 2 large petals that we have here, and we're going to just take each petal and we're going to fold them inward. And what this does is this helps to kind of lift the flowers and make them a little more realistic, kind of lifts them up a little bit. And you can kind of call it tempering the petals. And so we're going to do this on both of the large petals that we have left here. And then once we get all of those folded in, we're going to take one and we're going to lay it on top of the other, kind of offsetting the petals, just so that you have like every other one. So we'll put a little glue on the bottom right here, sticking it right on top, like I said, overlapping, kind of offsetting, that's the word I'm looking for, offsetting your petals. And then we're going to take our little bowl that we created with the third one, or you could say first one. I'm trying to get used to this glue gun over here. Put a little bit of glue on there and doing the same thing, offsetting those petals and gluing it right to the center. Once we get that glued down, then we're just going to set it aside and move on to the next step. Now, of course, the next step is grabbing our medium size petals that we have here, the one we only have one of. And what we're going to do is the same process to make the bowl like we did the large petals. But instead of just on the edge, we're going to take it and overlap it about halfway there on that, I guess you kind of say that first little bump, and create a little bit smaller little bowl there. Now that that's done, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the other little bowl. Is we're going to take our base that we've been building on, and we're going to take the smaller one and set it down inside the larger little bowl there, doing the same with offsetting your petals and getting that secured down in there. And then we're just going to set this one aside as well and move to our two smaller petals that we have here. And what we're going to be creating with this is, of course, the center of our rose, the bud in the center. Now, the one of your petals that you have here, to me, just isn't cut good enough all the way in, and so I'm going to take a pair of scissors and cut about a ½ inch down in between each petal. Now, as you're working with this, you'll kind of see with how far you need to kind of cut it down in there, but it's about a ½ inch. And then I'm going to take and kind of fold them in just a little bit, just to give me an idea of exactly where they're going to come in at, and also to help create a bit of a base. Now, once we get those done, then we're ready to bring our first two pieces inward. And basically, you have the two at the bottom, the one at the top, and then the two there on the other side of that one. And basically, you're going to take and kind of offset the petals, and you're going to take the one on the left and go to the outside of the one on the right. And then the one on the left, on the other side, you're going to bring it to the inside of the one on the right towards the bottom and overlap it to make that first center. You're going to put glue on the inside of that one-sided tab and then glue on the outside of that petal. And then once you get that there, you'll see kind of how it comes together. Now, after that's together, now you're ready to start just adding the petals around it, and you're just going to take each petal and kind of doing the same thing, but just one petal at a time, putting a little dab of glue on the inside of each petal and gluing it to the center. And then once you get it glued there to the center, you're going to see that there is going to be a little bit of a gap right there at the top. And I hope that you can kind of understand what I'm talking about by bringing it back enough to create that gap, and you'll do that with each additional petal that you bring up there. Again, just putting your dab of glue on each side, bringing it up to the center and holding it and letting it set, and doing that with each petal as you go around. Now we're going to take the last small petals, and we do not have to cut this one, but I will take it and fold it in kind of like we did the larger petals there for the bottom of the base, and to help temper them and help bring them in a little easier. And once you've got those done, then we're going to take our first bud and we're going to just glue it to the center of this last small petal here. And once we get it glued to the center, then of course we're going to begin to wrap these petals around it as well, leaving that gap at the top, just like we did on the first one. And I hope that this makes sense to you and you can kind of see what I'm doing with each petal that I bring up there, because it really is, when you start doing it, you'll see how simple it really is. But of course, guys, if you have questions about anything that I'm doing here today, don't hesitate to comment in the comments down below, and I will get to you as quick as I can. Or you can email me your questions, fixin2al@gmail.com. Don't hesitate to email me your questions as well. Now once you have your bud done, then it's ready to assemble the last piece of the flower, and that is just gluing on the bottom and then sticking it right down into the center. And guys, these are just so beautiful to me. I'm taking a pair of scissors just to kind of hold it and secure it down in there. And there you have it. You've got these beautiful roses, and I'm going to show you how you can easily hang these as well. Now guys, didn't these turn out so beautiful in these colors? And what we're going to do is we're going to be putting something on the back. They're very light, so it'll be really easy. I'm going to be using these 3M command strips. These are the Velcro ones. Now 2 of these put together will hold 16 pounds. But we definitely don't need all of that, but these are great for stuff like this. And I have used them on many paper flowers, the large ones and the small ones. And I'll link up above here for you where I made some larger paper flowers as well. But as you see, these are the Velcro. They stick together just like, they're kind of like those teeth Velcro type stuff. And basically I'm going to get 4 little hangers out of these 2 put together like this. It's so easy to do. So we're going to get them lined up and get them good and stuck together. And then I'm going to take my scissors, and first off, the little tabs that are at the bottom that you would pull to take it off the wall, I'm going to cut that part off. And then we're just going to cut this big piece in half, and then we'll take the 2 small pieces that we have and we'll cut those in half. And that will create 4 hangers out of 1 set of these, which I think is really cool and cost effective too. Because these little command strips are not cheap, but they are well worth it. Well worth it. So basically, once you get your little things cut, you're just going to take the backing off and stick it to the flower, and then it'll be super ready to go. Just take the sticky and put it on there, and kind of holding the center of the flower to push them on there real good. And then what you'll do is you'll just take off the back of that and then just stick it right on your wall. And they are very easy to come off as well. So guys, here is how it turned out. And you can see the name with that peelable vinyl as well. Worked out great, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed making them. If this is the first time to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Consider sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down there and the notification bell that's right next to it and becoming a part of the Fixer family. We would sure love to have you, and we would hate for you to miss a single video. I also post videos every Friday, and I throw in bonus videos from time to time. So come join us, and guys, if you enjoyed this, make sure that you give me a big thumbs up. It helps my channel out so much. And I want to tell you a big thank you so much for all of your sweet comments. Know that I love you guys, and I'm praying for you daily. And always remember to keep looking up, because that's where it all is. I'll see you on the next video.